So here we are outside of our up and coming store in Tempe, only a few weeks away. This is kind of a midpoint update. The last time we shot here, I had basically just taken it over from the cookie shop, and it looked like the ice cream cookie shop inside. Made a couple very minor changes here, just opened this up. Still need to paint this to not be blue, because blue's not really in our color. We've been popping up our tent here on Fridays and Sundays, doing pop-ups leading up to our open, and we're still doing that. So feel free to come join us on Friday morning or on Sunday morning. By 7 a.m. we're out here, and we're typically out here till about noon. This is 699 South Mill Avenue. It's in the Brickyard building. ASU School of Engineering's on top, heart of Mill. So let's go inside and see what's changed. All right, so on the inside here, a lot of cosmetic work done. Well, there used to be a counter and whatnot. It's funny, we're not doing a whole lot, but it is still a lot when you add it all up. So there was like a reddish floor. We just polished this all up to expose the natural kind of post-tension concrete. We'll leave it like this. We added this wall. So the counter before went all the way to the end. This is now going to be seating. And if you think about our downtown Phoenix location with the bench seating, there's going to be a cabinet here that has like games and books, a record player, and right past the cabinet will be an L-shaped bench with tables. Probably be able to nest 1 to 2 more tables here, so it'll be a nice cozy spot for 10, 12 people. And then on this other side, we modified, basically flattened out this wall. It was like jogged out a little bit before. Our sliced bread display is going to be right here. So as people walk in and make a right, it's going to be like all merchandising. So there'll be a cabinet here with sliced bread. The grab and go cooler, which is currently just sitting there, will be right here. It will be kind of built into the cabinetry, so it'll look really nice. And then there'll be merchandising shelving here in the window. Our bread shelf will be back here. So pastry case, ordering counter. So as you walk in, you'll see the pastry case in front of you. You'll be able to kind of make up your mind. There'll be a little bit of a shelf here that's blocking you from just going straight forward. Kind of the intention is to walk around and queue up this way while you're browsing some of the other retail items. Once you get up to this ordering counter, you'll see a big, beautiful bread shelf in the right corner. It used to be an entryway to the back. We closed up that wall and actually added the entrance to the kitchen around the corner. Because in the past, when you were standing right here in this spot, you could just see straight back into the kitchen, and that was what your eye was drawn to. Now it will be bread, which is what we wanted. We will have the pastry case right here, and as you walk and browse, here's where you'll pick up your order. And at the very end here, we'll have a little bit of a condiment bar for your coffee, that kind of thing, with a trash can as well that you can dispose your items back from. This is going to be a granite countertop and be like the full espresso bar. So everything nests here, the espresso machine, the drip coffee, iced tea, everything we need. It's all set up, just waiting for the final counter. And we carved out this back nook for ourselves by building up this wall and added some power to it, put some FRP up. So now this will be an area where we can do some food preparation. So we'll put a cold, like sandwich style case here for pizza ingredients at first, and eventually for sandwiches themselves. And so you can see like the theme is coming together. We left this wall white. We'll paint our logo on this wall. So as you're standing and making your order, you'll see the Proof logo. If you want to snap a photo, which some people do, you're right next to it, so that will work out really well. The other walls where you see uneven painting It's because we're paneling them with wood. So the same wood acoustic panels that you see. Currently there's a lot of echo in here. Once those go in, they'll help a lot, as well as the rest of the furniture that we do. A lot less done to the back. I mean, most of this is all cosmetic stuff, but we've done a little bit here too. So we added FRP. I don't know why these walls didn't have any FRP for a commercial kitchen. Now it seems required. We probably could have gotten away with keeping it as is, but it's a lot cleaner to have something truly wipeable than to be wiping drywall. So we thought, you know, might as well do it now rather than rip the kitchen out later and, you know, do it later. We built up this platform here. The only floor sink in the space is on the other side of this wall. And this platform is going to be for our ice machine so that it can drain into this floor sink, which is actually sticking out a little. I got this one compartment sink on auction, which it's going to be hooked up to that same floor sink. That's going to be our prep station sink. And more or less like the rest of this just going to get cleaned up and put back. I got some lighting for the front. So these are like rattan style chandeliers. They're going to replace the pretty dated lighting that's out there. Actually, I'll show you, and I'll show you some other work we did cosmetically. So the lighting in here is a little strange. Like these circular lights, they just look a little dirty and dated. This wood that was up here, I actually liked it as a feature, but it was like a reddish wood, so we re-stained it to dark walnut, which kind of matches our vibe. But then there's all these other track lights everywhere, just stuff kind of busily hanging from the ceiling in this space. So we're gonna try to clean that up where we can, and actually we'll use some of the existing tracks, like that one with power to it, and install track lighting on the other side of this wood nested, so you don't actually see the lights, you just see the actual ambient light coming from it. Similar to what we did with the rafters in Mesa, where the lights are tucked in the rafters, and so you just have kind of more of a steady light that way. Same with this one, this track light that's just here hanging. It's going to end up getting split into two tracks on the other side of these wood, and we'll use those spotlights to light up some of the bread display where it's strategic. So just fine details now, and a couple weeks away from opening. Hopefully we'll have a final health inspection here right when I get back from my baking conference, like the next day. So the mill work is going to come in here, and once we pass that health inspection, we can open. If we don't pass, we'll have to do whatever corrections, and then we can open. So either way, it's just a matter of a few weeks now. And in the meantime, you know, we're doing a lot out here between being out here on Fridays and Sundays, and we're also still doing this gift card promotional campaign. So you can currently get a Proof Bread gift card and get a pretty huge bonus, anywhere between 10 and even 40%. We're using this to fund some of this expansion in really like the most organic way we know how, by literally turning our bread and pastries into currency. So if you're a loyal customer of ours or want to be, you can go with like a $500 purchase and get a $550 gift card. That scales up to a $2,000 purchase for a $2,800 gift card. So the $800 bonus there, 40%. And we're using those funds for everything from furniture for these locations to, you know, Gilbert, we have like walk-in cooler to buy and other big ticket items. We're building bakehouses and spaces for a long term all right now. And so we're trying to raise a lot of funds right now so that we can pay for things that are meant to last for the community for many years to come. So that's a good way of helping us in the meantime, or coming to these pop-ups. And of course, we'll be announcing the grand opening date for Tempe and gearing up for this fall to have 5 locations open and active. A lot of things that are happening really well for us right now. Some of the best products we've been ever making. We're digging into the milling, really digging into the technique that we're doing, building an amazing team through and through, and then giving them all the opportunity to grow with us as well through some of these efforts that we're making. So this location here is in such a vibrant part of town. The pop-ups have been going really well comparatively. We've done pop-ups now at Shea, we've done pop-ups at downtown Phoenix, and now here. And we had no expectations, especially with Mill Avenue literally like under construction right now. I mean, this location is barricaded, so it's kind of hard to get in here now. This is supposed to be finished before we open, so fingers crossed there, because that's kind of a downer on our open if the whole road is barricaded. But thankful for the construction efforts. They do things like bring that streetcar to our doorstep here, and people can move around Tempe in an even better way than almost any other part of town because of some of this construction effort. So got to see it through and open this place up. It'll be a really nice center for proof. If you're wondering what we're going to do in the back with all that space, well, you're going to have to stay tuned. We have some great ideas for how to really build the future of our value add program, whether it be sandwiches, compound butters, things that really will make the overall experience of coming into a proof location more complete. Will be born here in this location, which is in the heart of our whole array of locations now. So till next time, hopefully next time we'll be showing a pretty complete project to you. This video alone will save you tens of thousands of dollars. We're going to talk a little bit about bakery layout, maximizing the holidays. Refrigeration is also extraordinarily expensive. What's going to happen when you're done with your mix? Task switching is an efficiency killer, and organization is critical in all of this. We borrowed around $800,000. If we don't honor those commitments to these banking relationships, we have everything on the line. Our house, our bakery equipment. It's one thing to use other people's money to grow. It's another thing to use other people's money to survive. Why would you take the risk to build, say, $1 million bakery if you don't have $1 million of sales to support it? There is a much higher chance of failure because you have to pay the bills for that space. How do you transfer those sales logically into your production system so that your teams can be organized, that you can buy the right amount of ingredients perhaps a week before that order is placed? The more you leave up to chance, the harder it is to ever really get it right. I wish that it was only flour that I had to deal with. We store 280 different SKUs of items. Cleaner supply that we need for washing the floor. Maybe it's barrels of olives. As you scale, you need space to accommodate every single thing that you buy on a recurring basis. There's nothing worse than going through an entire build-out process, spending every last dollar that you have, or worse, that you borrowed in order to build out, only to learn that there's this extra $20,000 you have to spend here, or this extra $10,000 that you have to spend there. What I'm trying to do is point out the things that tripped me up in building my bakeries in hopes of saving you the headache of learning these things in the midst of construction and the actual money that you could save by knowing this up front. There's disruptions in business. There's things that will knock you out. If you're building a business that's completely dependent on you, what are you going to do in those moments? Is it just simply shut down? That isn't a viable answer. You should know what your goal is. For us, we're trying to build something that's still going to be around decades from now. Proof has always been about community, grit, and an unwavering belief in doing meaningful work. We continue to receive messages from people around the world who had been following our YouTube channel and starting their own bakery businesses. To date, we've heard of around 500 startup operations getting off the ground
inspired by our story.
Why are we doing this in the first place? The joy of baking, the joy of acquiring new skills, the joy of just growing in general.
Every role matters. Skill-based roles can make or break everything that happens after the mix. This is a journey, not a final result. Get processes that are time-sensitive started.
The skill required to handle ambient bread is higher. Ornamental scoring is going to be next to impossible.
Your role in running your business is to keep things in balance.
Never putting yourself in a position where one account has so much of your operational bandwidth attached to it. The problem is, proofers cost a lot of money for a very little amount of space, $35,000.
Valentine's Day this year was on a Friday, turned out to be our 6th best ever day. In 1 week, we do more than we did in the entire year 2017. Try to combine your data sources and build good reporting for yourself. Have the right people in the right seats. If you don't, make sure you're not just offering blind grace and expecting different results.
We'll train our physical skills, we'll train other things. Mental skills are no different. We just have to practice it.
Checking equipment as you go is important. Keep the space clear and organized.
And hopefully some of the insights will help you avoid some of the traps that we have fallen into. Don't neglect this. Plan, plan, plan. And best of luck to you.